We all heard this song. Boys ain't no fun. And we know better. Knows I should. Rolling off with the right one. I heard this song today and I'm like, oh my God. It took me to my adolescence because I was that female. I made poor decisions growing up on men and I always went for that bad boy. But that's the actual definition, a bad boy. He's not a man, he's a boy. And I made excuses because us women, when we love hard and we love unconditional, some females. And when we do that, we make excuses for them. You know, and the bad boy gives us excitement. It gives us a little bit of empowerment. And even though it brings us tears and torment and confusion and even loss of self, we still make excuses for them. Because as a woman, you're like, I'm gonna love him so much, he's gonna change. I care for him so much, I'm not gonna leave his side. And that's great and all, but you have to understand, a man wouldn't put you in that predicament. You can't love a person into behaving correct. And I was that person, you know, I was with the bad boy, riding in and out states, riding completely dirty, you know, females with the escorting business. I mean, I remember one time walking into my house and he's like, are you gonna believe what your eyes see or what I'm telling you? And I made an excuse because we make excuses for those who we love because we don't want to let go. And at the bottom line, you know, I know why I did it. I know why I put up with it because all I wanted was to be loved. And at the same time, riding around with him, I felt protected and at the same time empowered, like I was doing something. And that he trusted me so much with this huge responsibility of what? Driving around with drugs in and out of state. Like, really? If you love me the way you did, why put me in that situation? So it's like always going for that bad boy. It's a boy, it's not a man. And you can't make excuses for them. I mean, I'm just talking from experience, you know? Like my ex-husband went in and out of jail, and every time he went in, I wrote it out. 2-3 years, I'm faithful. I'm writing it out. I have the phone on my hip, you know, so I don't miss any calls from him. You know, I'm making those trips in the weekend, you know, taking 7-8 hour trips just to see him for 2 hours. You understand? So it's like, yeah, the bad boy is excitement and it's exciting, but what are you lacking if you need to have something to that magnitude? It's not cute when you're a grown woman to be with a bad boy. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's excitement, but at the same time, those are not good choices. And I know I didn't make a good choice because that's what I used to be prone to being with. I wanted that dominant man. I wanted that dominant bad boy that doesn't back down, and he was doing whatever he needed to do for the family. But at the same time, I kept on making excuses after excuses after excuses. Every bitch, every time his dick got stuck, every time girls was blowing up the phone, excuses after excuses after excuses. They don't mean shit. I'm the wife. I don't care about you, hoe. He comes home to me. Once again, excuses, excuses, excuses. Everybody's entitled to make a mistake because we're not perfect. But when you do it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, that's not a mistake. That's called a fucking habit. And the only person that can break that habit is the person that's participating in this habit. But us as women, what do? We make excuses for the men that we love because we love them, and all we want is to be loved back. And it's like it's a cycle because I didn't have that male role model in my life growing up. I didn't have a father-daughter relationship. I was, you know, molested and abused for a long period of time growing up. So I got introduced to sex very early in age in a very demented, you know, view of what a relationship should be. Because look at my mom, very old school, from the country, back, you know, in the Caribbean. You know, you stick to your man whether you like it or not. Back then, they didn't have divorce. They didn't have you quitting. They didn't have that. You're stuck. So it's like my mom accepted women, kids, sucking dick, doing this, doing that, and she still rode with him. Never gave me a stepfather, none of that. It was all about my sperm donor, my dad. Since the age of 13, that's the only dick she's had. And because I had that kind of upbringing, not having a male figure, and the male figure that I had was really distorted and fucked up, and that's what made me the person that I was. And then seeing how my mom was, you know, I became that ride or die chick, you know, do anything and everything for my man. But in all actuality, once again, it's not a man, it's a bad boy. Boy means child. You understand? So it's like, I get it. Mr. Right is boring. Mr. Wrong is exciting. You don't know what's gonna happen. You jump in the car. You don't know what town you're heading to next. You don't know what state you're heading to next. In and out motels, eating whatever you want, shopping, you know. But once again, we make excuses. Don't get me wrong. I'm an adrenaline junkie. I want a nigga with a little edge. I like the motorcycle. I like you being, you know, a dominant man. Not aggressive. Big difference. But a dominant man. An alpha male. I'm attracted to that. So I'm not looking for a bad boy. At the age of 43, I'm looking for a reformed thug. Which means he's completely reformed from all those ways. Whatever he did for a purpose and for a reason, and it turned him to the person that he is, and he changed and he bettered himself. But at the same time, he's not a punk. So us as women, like I said, I made those bad fucking decisions in my 20s, in my 30s. I was always after this bad boy, but when is enough enough? What is he giving you besides him being a bad boy? Besides, every time he walks out that door, you don't know if he's coming back. If you're gonna have to put, you know, a lawyer. You know what? You know what's gonna happen? What happens if you don't have lawyer money? What happens if he didn't get all that ready for you? You understand? So it's like us as women. You know, when I was younger, once again, for many years, I'm like, yeah, I'm that ride or die chick. I love my man. Fuck that shit. I'm that ride or die chick. But by any means necessary, that's my heart. I got questions now. If I'm gonna ride, where are we going? When are we coming back? Are you gonna feed me? Am I gonna get some dick? And why do I need to die? I got shit planned out for the rest of the week. So it's like you can't be around being ignorant and listening to these songs and thinking that's what a good functioning relationship is. I know I made poor decisions because of my foundation and my upbringing. That's the view that I had for a relationship. If your man cheats on you, you keep it, you swallow it, you forgive him. If he, you know, pushes you and, you know, just curses you out because he's disappearing for 2 or 3 days, you take it, you swallow it, and forgive him. You know, if he's in prison 3, 4, 5, 6 years, you ride or die with that motherfucking no ins, ands, or buts. And us women, we do a lot of stupid shit when we are head over heels, unconditionally in love with this man that's not even giving us half of what we're giving them. You understand? So it's like, I was stupid. I used to bring drugs into the prison because of him. I used to do whatever he wanted me to do because of the love of him. And I didn't want to disappoint him. And I also felt some kind of empowerment to have that kind of responsibility and be like, yo, he trusts me and nobody else. Once again, making excuses for our bad boys, not men. So it's like, listen from me. You know, I've been through a lot of heartache. I've been through a lot of pain. You know, I was that person working 16 hours, going to school full time to better myself and advance my career, and then driving 7 hours for a 2-hour prison visit. So we could sit down and do what? Eat chicken wings, have a soda, and then take like 2 or 3 pictures at the end of the visit. You know, that relationship is lopsided. You know, and honestly, to my ladies who are my age, 43, in your 40s, yo, that phase has already gone. And it's not cute on you. If you still think you need to be that ride or die chick, that's shit that you need to reevaluate for yourself. Because once again, I made poor choices. I did everything that I did on my own free will because of the love that I had for him. Now, I did it. I didn't have to do anything that I didn't want to do, but I did it. And I also made excuses. You understand? So it's like, when it's unconditional love and you have a man, you don't have to make excuses for them because they take responsibility for their own actions. So it's like, I get it, ladies. My beautiful women who's in their 20s and their 30s and their teens. I want to be that ride or die. I'm going with my baby to Tampa, to Georgia. Really? Like, really? I know niggas that was riding around with bitches and bitches didn't even know what the fuck was in the car. You understand? Like, that's not love. And you can't make excuses for their actions because, once again, it's a habit. It wasn't a mistake. So it's like, just keep that in your mind. And like I said, this is a page out of Tatted's book. This is something that I went through, and I chose multiple men, bad boys, one after the other, bad boys, you understand? And for what? Doesn't matter how much you love that person, you can't change them. And once again, you're dealing with a boy, not a man. And a woman can't make a boy a man. It don't work like that. So it's just, I know why I did it. My foundation was fucked up. But it took until the age that I have now that I'm like, hell no. Been there, done that in my 20s, nigga. Like, no, I don't want you even in my car if you don't got a license. You understand? So it's like, just, you have to work on yourself and remember a person's only going to do to you what you allow them to do to you. So if that bad boy cheated on once, twice, 3, 4, 5, had kids outside the relationship, and you keep making excuses and excuses, oh, well, he's making money, these bitches are after him, they just want to suck and fuck, then, I'm the special one, I'm the wife, I'm the one with the deed to the house. Stop making excuses for other people so you could continue loving them. Sometimes you just got to accept the person that they are and the wrong choices that you made to be with them. Like I said, give everyone a chance, but when it's a pattern, it's a habit, and I was married to a person that had a habit, in for 3 years, out for 2, go back in for 3 years, out for 3, go back in for 2 years, out for 1, and I made excuses for him. I rode and almost died because of the love that I have. And what do I have to show for it now? And I was married. You understand? So that's cute. It's cute to hear the video and hear the songs, but no woman that knows her worth would ever want to be with a bad boy. I'd rather be with an alpha male that's dominant and secure with himself, that he has that presence when he walks into the room. He doesn't have to say a word because his presence speaks for himself. He just, as a man, as a gentleman. But in the same token, don't fuck with that motherfucker. You understand? Like, when is enough, people? And my girls, like, I know I didn't have that foundation. I didn't have that love. Everything was fucked up the way I thought about shit. Like, trust me. But you gotta own that shit. Like, I own that I made fucked up decisions in the men that I honestly thought I unconditionally loved for them. Instead of loving a boy, why don't you love yourself unconditionally, mama? Once you got you and your value and your worth, nobody could tell you no shit. And guess what? You're not gonna be attracted to no boys. You're gonna be attracted to some grown-ass men. So, like I said, I'm just sharing from the book of Tatted to you. If this applies to you, hey, trust me, been there, done that. But I learned, bitch. I learned. I love you. Somebody needed to hear this message. So, hey, share it. You never know. These little teenagers, ride or die. They're fucking ride or die, bitch. You don't even got a permit. Bye, my peoples.